All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Andy Schmidt. I'm here with Dr. Neil Shah. Neil, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
So we'll just jump right into it. Last night, we saw the Minnesota GOP straw poll. You came in third place behind Gazelka and Jensen with 1,878 votes. How are you feeling about this?
Feeling pretty good about that. That's exactly where we thought we'd end up, and so
Mhm.
that means our internal data and metrics are good. And it's a good showing for someone that started with zero name ID and zero political experience. So I'll take it as a result. I think we're certainly in the fight, going into the kind of endorsement season, which
Mhm.
kicks off with the caucuses and ends in the middle of May with the state endorsing convention. So a good result for us. Obviously, everyone wants to win, and we didn't win. Scott had a great night, but I feel very proud of what we did.
Okay. Well, and how seriously is your campaign taking the polling last night? Because obviously it seems like Jensen did crush everybody, it feels like, but
Yeah.
you're not too worried about it. So how are you guys feeling?
So we feel really good about it because the way we frame this up is, are Minnesotans, is there an appetite for just another career politician? And last night's results were a clear repudiation of that. I think
Hmm.
Scott would certainly describe himself as an outsider candidate. He's run on
Hmm.
that. Mike Murphy and I are both in that same boat. So we're
Sure.
anti-establishment candidates. And,
Hmm.
the three of us together had a overwhelming majority of the vote. And the establishment folks like Gazelka and Benson and Kendall Qualls, they did not so great. So to me, that's the biggest takeaway from this is that the people of Minnesota spoke up last night. Many, I think we'll find out once we get into these lists, but based on our internal feedback and numbers, many of them are first-time caucus goers.
Okay.
Many of them are the demographic we need to bring into the party, 30 to 50-year-olds with kids that want to make their state a better place, that want to take their cities back, take their state and their country back.
Mhm.
And they're getting politically enfranchised for the first time ever. So
Mhm.
if you're an establishment rhino, you've got to look at what happened last night and be absolutely terrified.
Sure.
We the people are coming and we're taking the power back.
So, how do you plan on winning those people over?
Yeah, so now we can start the work of figuring out which of our folks have kind of made it into the delegate process, going through those BPO conventions, trying to get your folks to become statewide delegates. But we can also make to the case that people that came in that maybe didn't know that I existed, that liked
Mm.
Scott, and say, hey, everything you liked about Scott, well, we can do all those things, and we're strong on certain
Mm.
issues.
Sure.
So it's an opportunity to speak to people that may not have necessarily heard about this campaign, that may have been hearing about me for the first time last night. I look forward to winning over those hearts and minds. And I know for a lot of people that we've talked to, they really like us. They just happen to like someone else more, and that's fine.
Mm.
We'll continue to make our case about why I'm the best candidate to win against Tim Walz this fall, and we will
Mhm.
do that over the next few months going into the statewide convention.
Absolutely. And okay, so if you don't end up getting the endorsement, I got to ask you, what's your plan? Are you going to stay in the race? Are you going to become someone's running mate? What are you planning on doing there?
Yeah, so the objective here is to beat Tim Walz, okay? And we
Yes.
need the
Right.
best candidate to do that. I think I'm the best candidate. Everyone
Yeah.
thinks that because that's why they're all running.
Hmm.
So, but I've said that I will abide by the endorsement, and I'm telling the truth on that. I think some people have said that, and I don't think that they I don't think they're going to,
Sure.
based on the timing of when they came into the race and how they're doing. So
Mm.
it's important that after the endorsement, we should, fight like cats and dogs. Before that, find the best person, let that process play out. But once we have that endorsement, we do have to pull behind that person and help get them past Tim Walz, help find the financial resources to get them well supplied, help train them up some more, get the word out, get out the vote going in this state. We have to get Walz out of office, and we have to get some of the other constitutional offices as well, like Attorney General, Secretary of State, and Auditor.
So, are you saying you could be someone's running mate?
I'll have to see who survives that.
Sure.
Yeah, it's too early for me to tell
Too
if
early to
that's
tell.
something I would consider. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So I guess shifting into we released yesterday, I think, the 2021 campaign financial reports, and it looked like you came in third place again behind Gazelka and Jensen with $227,997. How's your campaign feeling about this?
Well, pretty good. I mean,
Hmm.
this fall our burn rate was really high. We
Hmm.
had to get name ID up. We had to run a lot of ads. We had to do a lot of call center stuff. And
Hmm.
then once people kind of started to figure out, hey, we know who this guy is. We know what he stands for. We could rein that in. So our spend
Sure.
was really high earlier in the fall, but it doesn't
Hmm.
reflect our current burn rate. We have a very lean operation going forward,
Hmm.
and we've done very well since the start of the year. For our campaign, I think the most tenuous point was going into that first big debate, the Alpha News debate at Providence Academy. And
Sure.
after that, it's been a completely different race. We no longer have to
Okay.
struggle. Everyone knows who we are. Everyone knows how great I am on a debate stage. And
Mm-hmm.
we've done fantastic since then. So we'll be filing these reports quarterly. We have a very
Mm-hmm.
lean machine. We'll be there all the way till statewide in Rochester.
So I got to ask you a question about gun rights because last night Governor Walz put out a statement about the shooting in Richfield, which was a horrible, horrible thing. And Walz kind of, I mean, it seems like his response to the shooting is that we need more gun control. And obviously, I kind of know what your thoughts are on this, but what are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, that's going to be the textbook Democrat response instead of actually
Right.
having some type of credible plan to address the violence that is embroiling all of our streets and spilling over into all of our suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is incredibly tragic, and gun control is the single piece that will do absolutely nothing. And you don't need to look any further than Chicago. I grew up in a suburb of Chicago. Chicago has perhaps the strictest gun laws in the nation. They have
Yeah.
the worst violent crime in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
So not only is there no correlation between gun ownership and violent crime in a
Mm-hmm.
worldwide sense, there is an inverse correlation, it would appear, in the
Mm-hmm.
United States, particularly in large cities with very aggressive gun control measures. So I don't see how the quote unquote party of science can point to those facts and then
Right.
say that more gun control is somehow going to solve the horrific violence that is plaguing
Mm-hmm.
our streets.
Mm-hmm.
We need adequate law enforcement. We need judges to do their job. We need
Mm-hmm.
prosecutors to do their job. We need family units to hang together. And we need communities to rise up and take back their street. None of those involves gun control. So Tim Walz can try to come back to reality and save
Mm-hmm.
lives, or he can continue to pander to a radical portion of his base with
Mm-hmm.
fantasy ideas around gun control.
So, I mean, your response to this would be to, I mean, would it be like put more guns into people's hands, or, I mean, because seriously, I remember a couple years ago I looked up the CDC statistics on this, and it was like people with guns save more life. Like the more guns that there are in a certain area, the more lives are saved. And
Yeah, I
so,
mean, right. So there's the left never likes to talk about defensive gun use. So DGU
mhm,
data is pretty compelling that there are hundreds of thousands of cases per year
sure,
where the presence of a gun saves a life.
yeah,
And that is simply having it, simply showing force, which
yeah,
is drawing a weapon in a certain situation,
hmm,
ends a potential threat to someone's life. The left doesn't want to talk about any of those.
totally,
So there are situations where guns absolutely save lives. The pithy response is an armed society is a polite society.
hmm,
But the criminals right now in many areas are the only people who have weapons. And so if
hmm.
we arm the law-abiding segment of society, I think the criminal element will think twice about perpetrating crimes.
Absolutely, totally. And I guess just to wrap things up, I want to give you the opportunity. I mean, if there's anything that you have on your mind that you want to say or want to talk about that we could go over real quickly, or
Well, I just wanted to thank my team.
hmm,
No one does this in a vacuum, and I'm just
hmm,
a part of a movement, and I'm a part of a amazing machine. My campaign manager Fletcher has done an amazing job. Bridget, our
hmm.
scheduler, has done an amazing job, and the entire they named themselves this. I did not. The entire Charmy is an amazing set of
There you go.
freedom-loving patriots who
Yeah,
just want to get their state back and get their
sure.
country back. And I'm honored that people have given so much time and effort to this cause. I'm simply trying to do the best job I can playing
Mhm.
that role, fighting for freedom every day, fighting for liberty, trying to make our state more safe and more prosperous. And I hope to continue to do that. And we will work very, very hard to get that GOP endorsement this May.
Sure. And for people that don't know you, how can they find out more about you?
They can follow us online at Neil Shah MN,
Hmm.
NeilShahMN on social media, or you can go to our website at electneil, ELECTNEIL.com and follow us there.
Well, Neil, we really appreciate you coming on and doing this. I love talking to you, and hopefully we can talk soon again. Thanks.
Thanks for the opportunity. Have a wonderful day.
You too.